Hello, 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 hello from the lookout. Hi there. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. All right. Today is day 242, Walking Through the Bible, the one-year Bible project. Thanks for coming along. Haven't seen the hummingbirds for a couple of days, so maybe we'll see one fly up during this video. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. All right. Luke 18. 31 to 34 on day 242. All right. Taking the 12 disciples aside, Jesus said, "Listen, we're going up to Jerusalem where all the predictions of the prophets concerning the Son of Man will come true. He will be handed over to the Romans, and he will be mocked, treated scornfully, shamefully, and spit upon. They will flog him with a whip and kill him, but on the third day he will rise again." But they didn't understand any of this. The significance of his words was hidden from them, and they failed to grasp what he was talking about. Sometimes God gives us a heads up. Sorry, I was just trying to fix my hair a little bit. Sometimes God gives us a heads up about what's coming, but we really don't understand. But then as we look back, and we know that the disciples looked back and said, oh yeah, I remember. So we just pay attention. And then as the Lord makes it clear, makes it evident, then we go, oh yeah, thank you, Lord. You were trying to get me ready. All right. Now, Luke 34, or Job 34 to 36. Okay. Now this friend, Elihu, the one who waited it out, listened to everything, now he continues to speak. Okay, chapter 34, verses 2 to 10. Elihu said, "Listen to me, you wise men. Pay attention, you who have knowledge." Job said, "The ear tests the words it hears, just as the mouth distinguishes between foods. So let us discern for ourselves what is right. Let us learn together what is good. For Job also said, I am innocent, but God has taken away my rights. I am innocent, but they call me a liar. My suffering is incurable, though I have not sinned." Now watch. This friend, he's compassionate and comforting. Tell me, has there ever been a man like Job? With his thirst for irreverent talk, he chooses evil people as companions. He spends his time with wicked men. He has even said, "Why waste time trying to please God?" Listen to me, you who have understanding. Everyone knows that God doesn't sin. The Almighty can do no wrong. Oh, okay. As he makes his case for God, Elihu must try to humiliate Job. But then he makes assumptions about Job that he can't even begin to prove. Now listen to 34, verses 33 to 37. Okay, must God tailor his justice to your demands? But you have rejected him. The choice is yours, not mine. Go ahead, share your wisdom with us. After all, bright people will tell me, and wise people will hear me say, Job speaks out of ignorance. His words lack insight. Job, you deserve the maximum penalty for the wicked way you have talked. For you have added rebellion to your sin. You show no respect, and you speak many angry words against God. Okay, first, you speak many angry words against God. Have you ever been angry at God? I mean, let's just, this is kind of a sidebar. Have you ever been angry at God? Did you tell him? If you didn't, I encourage you to say, God, I'm really upset with you right now. I don't understand this. I don't get it. Help me to understand. We interact with people. We interact with God in relationship. And relationships have ups and downs. And God would prefer that we would say, hey, I'm really angry at you right now. It's not going to affect him. He's not going to go away. He loves us. And then we're being honest with God, which is what he desires. But Elihu, Boy, that you spoke in anger, so you're speaking in rebellion. I don't think so. Okay, personal opinion. Oops, sorry, hit my mic. Hope that didn't hurt your ears. Okay, now, this person, Elihu, shows no regard for Job or for his suffering. He says that he cares, but his words prove that he does not. When we begin to argue about God, it can turn up the heat, and we now feel compelled to defend God. Right? Chapter 36, 1-4. Let's see what it says. I think I have to turn the page. 36, 1-4. Elihu continued speaking, "Let me go on and I will show you the truth, for I have not finished defending God. I will present profound arguments for the righteousness of my Creator. I am telling you nothing but the truth, for I am a man of great knowledge." In so doing, the discussion becomes more about being right, because after all, we must defend and prove to the other person our right view of God. Now, as this is going on, does it bring honor to God? Does it fulfill Jesus' command that we love one another? In the midst of these arguments, is the gospel a sweet-smelling fragrance? But wait, if I don't defend God, won't I be condoning the other person's point of view? Aha! We all live with a different point of view. I've heard many times that they say that 2, 3, 4 people can see an accident scene and see different things, because that's just our point of view, how we see things. Outside of Seattle, Washington, there is an incredible place, one of my favorite places, Mount Rainier. Now, if you describe the mountain, Mount Rainier, from sunrise, that's one of the places you can drive to and get a beautiful view of Mount Rainier. And I describe the view from Paradise, another view of Mount Rainier, but on the opposite side. Now, if we will describe different things, right? We will describe different perspectives as we look at the mountain. But does that make my opinion, my view right and yours wrong? Or yours right and mine wrong? No, we're just looking from a different point of view, right? Now, each and every one of us has different perspectives as we view God. May we listen, and as we listen, ask God Himself whether their perspective is correct. Ask God. God, and I'm hearing something that's different from what I understand. What should I do with that? And so it becomes a conversation. And then if need be, maybe God will say, well, why don't you talk about this? And we can talk in humility rather than being defensive. Does that make sense? I think it has a much different outcome. All right? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 5-7. Paul says, "You see, we don't go around preaching about ourselves. We preach that Jesus Christ is Lord, and we ourselves are your servants for Jesus' sake. For God, who said, 'Let there be light in the darkness,' has made this light shine in our hearts so we could know the glory of God that is seen in the face of Jesus Christ." We now have this light shining in our hearts, but we ourselves are like fragile clay jars containing this great treasure. This makes it clear that our great power is from God and not from ourselves. We preach about Jesus, His gospel, not about ourselves. And as we are humans who minister from our limited perspective, we minister the gospel of Jesus Christ, right? So we depend on the light of God to shine into our hearts in order to shine His light to the world around us. He shines His light into our hearts so that we can shine our light, His light out to the world. Okay? Paul says that we are fragile vessels, but in our fragility, isn't that a fancy word, fragility? As we're fragile vessels, Christ shines through all our cracks and crevices out to those around us. And it's His great power at work in our lives, so let's invite Him to do His work, right? Let us also invite Him to shine through our areas of weakness and imperfection to demonstrate the power of the good news. Let Him shine through our areas of weakness and imperfection so that others can see the power of the gospel. We don't have to hide the fact that we're not perfect. We can just let people see that and see how God helps us and deals with it. All right. Now, 8 to 10. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God. We get knocked down, but we are not destroyed. Through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Paul says that we will face many kinds of struggles. We're troubled, but we're not crushed. We're perplexed, but we're not in despair. We're hunted down, but never abandoned. We're knocked down, but not destroyed. And then verse 10, he says, through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Our suffering identifies us with the death of Jesus. Think about that. So that our suffering identifies us with the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus can be seen in us. So we don't walk around and talk about how our lives are so dead. We talk about the life that Jesus gives us in the midst of our struggles. Okay? Think about it one more time. Our suffering identifies us with the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus can be seen in us. Then he says, there's darkness so that light can be seen. And thinking along those lines, there's bitterness so that sweetness can be seen. There's harsh things so that the gentle Spirit of God can be seen. Whatever that negative attribute is, there is an opposite attribute that God will demonstrate through you as the Spirit brings freedom and He brings life. Okay. Now, all right, we're going to say Proverbs chapter 22, verses 10 to 12. Throw out the mocker, and fighting goes too. Quarrels and insults will disappear. Whoever loves a pure heart and gracious speech will have the king as a friend. The Lord preserves those with knowledge, but He ruins the plans of the treacherous. Okay, and finishing with Psalm 44, verses 4 to 8. You are my king and my God. You command victories for Israel. Only by your power can we push back our enemies. Only in your name can we trample our foes. I do not trust in my bow. I do not count on my sword to save me. You are the one who gives us victory over our enemies. You disgrace those who hate us. O God, we give glory to you all day long and constantly praise your name. Well, I pray that God's light will shine through you through whatever circumstance you're facing. If it's a difficult one, that His light will shine into that situation, and you will see how He can help you even in the midst of the struggle. May God bless you today.